The Resilience Across Borders podcast is intended for education, support, and inspiration. I am not a psychologist or a medical doctor and do not offer any professional, medical, or health advice. If you are dealing with or suffering from any psychological or medical conditions, please seek help from a qualified health professional. Hello and welcome back to Resilience Across Borders podcast. I'm your host, Rashid Zahidi, and in today's episode, we'll talk about the power of silence and how embracing quiet can enhance your conversations and can also enhance your relationships. So in a world filled with constant chatter, constant noise, silence can be a powerful and underutilized tool. It holds the potential to enhance our interactions and potential to provide clarity in arguments and to foster deeper connections. So here we will explore the benefits of silence and remind you of some practical ways to incorporate it into various settings. Number one, silence in conversations. Enhancing listening skills, silence can significantly improve our ability to listen. When we consciously choose to be silent, we create space for the other person to express themselves fully and uninterrupted. This not only shows respect, but also allows us to understand their perspective better and give time for things to sink in. An example, during a meeting, instead of immediately responding to a colleague's idea, take a moment of silence to process what they've said. This can lead to a more thoughtful and constructive response. Also, allowing time for reflection, incorporating pauses in conversations can give both parties time to reflect on what has been said. This reflection can lead to more meaningful and insightful exchanges instead of the illusion that communication has taken place when in reality it hasn't and it's just two parties yapping. So an example, when discussing a complex issue with a friend, introduce brief moments of silence after each major point. This can help both of you think more deeply about the topic and contribute more effectively to the discussion. Number two, very important. I know it's not easy, but it's very, very important. That is silence in arguments. So helping with diffusing tension. Silence can act as a de-escalation tool during arguments. Instead of reacting impulsively, a moment of silence allows emotions to settle. Maybe put some breathing in there along with that silence, right? Reducing the likelihood of saying something regrettable. Have you ever been in those situations where you had to come back later and you're like, what happened? You got caught into that moment, into that into that storm, and maybe you did or said things that maybe you didn't mean to say or do. So an example, in a heated argument with a partner, for instance, because this happens a lot to a lot of people, take a deliberate pause before responding. This break can calm both parties and pave the way for a more rational and composed dialogue. It also creates space between stimulus and reaction, and especially avoiding undesired or inappropriate reactions, instead allowing you time to think, reflect, and respond the way you want to respond. Also, it's important in encouraging self-reflection. When used strategically, silence can prompt the other person to reflect on their words and actions. It can create an environment where introspection leads to a better understanding and better resolution. So, for example, if a colleague criticizes your work harshly and you respond with silence, this might prompt them to reconsider their tone and approach or self-correct, leading to a more constructive conversation. Sometimes you have to let the silence do the heavy lifting. and it will if you let it. Number three, silence in everyday life. Fostering creativity, silence provides a mental space free from distractions, allowing creativity to flourish. In quiet moments, our minds can wander and explore new ideas and solutions. So, for instance, schedule regular silent time during your workday to brainstorm or reflect on ongoing projects. This practice can enhance your problem solving abilities and spark innovative ideas. And if you want to take it even to the next level, schedule more than one silent time during your day in general, not just your work day, your day in general. So also, it promotes mindfulness and well-being. Regular periods of silence can improve mental well-being by reducing stress and promote mindfulness. It allows us to disconnect from external stimuli and connect with our inner selves. In other words, get out of the washing machine where you're being kicked around, right? So you can step out a little bit and you can actually do some self-care and do some mindfulness exercises. And again, because mindfulness is like have been like overused or whatever, I like to always say just do simple things. Like if you're having trouble with this, just take a moment and say, okay, what are 3 to 5 things I can actually see and notice? What are maybe 2 or 3 things I can smell? What are things I can taste or I can feel with my hands? And this is a good way to like stop that mind chatter as well. This is just give you some simple ways to kind of practice mindfulness. So incorporate a few minutes of silence into your daily routine, whether through meditation, a quiet walk, or simply sitting in stillness. This can help you feel more centered. It can help you feel more rejuvenated. So in conclusion, embracing silence can transform the way we interact with others and the way we navigate our daily lives. So whether it's in conversations, arguments, or moments of introspection, silence has the power to enhance understanding, the power to foster creativity, and the power to promote well-being overall. So by integrating these strategies into our routines, we can unlock the profound benefits that silence offers and cultivate more meaningful connections and personal growth. As always, thank you for tuning into the Resilience Across Borders podcast. If you are enjoying this podcast and finding it helpful to you, please pick up a copy of the companion journal called Emogym on Amazon. It's EMOGYM, and you can distinguish it by finding me as the author. You can follow the blog posts and new episodes as they get added at this URL at resilience.com. ATRESILIENCE.com. Remember to be kind to yourself and be kind to others and stay resilient.